All right, this is Jimmy Cab's Tape to Broadcast, the 5150 interview series in Bulldozer Magazine. I am here with the one and only Master of Metal, Juan Garcia of Masters of Metal. But I think after 30 years, I'm allowed to say Age of Steel.
Absolutely.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing excellent. Doing great. How are you?
Good. This is really interesting. Masters of Metal has just released their new album that you recorded a while back as a four-piece with Bernie Versailles singing on it and also playing guitar. And then unfortunately the tragedy happened with Bernie, and I believe he had a aneurysm.
Yes.
How's he doing?
He's slowly recovering. It happened early October 2014. We've been working on this record for, I can remember starting riffs, close to after Alien Enigma came out. Way back 2010, I think, is when we started working on material. Yeah, we had to rewrite the record twice and start from scratch, do it all over again, throw out the vocals, and yeah. So the songs have been marinating for a while.
What's tragic about this is that the band was all in unison in the fact that when you guys had first performed with Bernie at the Key Club, the reviews were incredible. It seemed that you had finally found this chemistry where the band was in unison, and finally Bernie had stepped up to take the vocals, which has been a long time issue. We won't even get into that. And then this has happened. How did this affect you and the band emotionally? Not only with, of course, having to sideline the project, but emotionally. I mean, that was a tragic thing that you guys went through.
At first,
and him.
Yeah. Okay. When he first started singing, I was actually pissed off at Bernie, in a good way. Meaning, like, dude, you waited this long.
So was I.
It's like, what, you could sing, and you waited. You put us through all that hell with all these singers, and you were able. So I guess he just stepped up to the plate. I guess he got sick of dealing with vocalists, and he just decided to sing and do his thing, and so I was upset, but I guess sometimes that's the way things work out. So I think he did a tremendous job on this new record on the vocals, and I was very upset at him at first, but I got over it. And what was the original question?
Well, it's just you guys finally get that chemistry, man. I mean, look, let's be frank here. You guys have had a tremendous fucking career, but yet there seems to be always obstacles going on. Yeah. Finally, the band gets in unison. Bernie steps up. Think about this. There are very few fucking bands that go through singer after singer and still are able to come back. And here you guys come back with Bernie on vocals, which, number one, worked. Number two, the crowd, the audience accepted it. There's a whole new hunger, and then this fucking tragic thing happens.
I mean, it's what it's called life. I mean, things happen. I'm just glad we got the record done. I'm glad it's coming out. It's called From Worlds Beyond, and it's it's dedicated to Bernie, and we're wishing for him a quick recovery. It's going to take some time, I think, but we wish him the best.
Would it be safe to say that the band is in hiatus for a bit until he recovers?
I would say.
Or is that something you guys haven't even thought about?
That's something we really haven't thought about. A little bit we have. We did a song on the record called Vengeance and Might, which we features James Rivera from Hellstar singing on it. And James told me that if any shows would come up, some kind of show for Bernie or a fundraiser or something, or even like some dates in Europe and for 2016 that he would sing in the absence of Bernie. But it's just something that we haven't really got into, but we hope to do some shows in 2016 as to support the record. I don't know how many shows, but at least a few.
We don't want to get too much into the personal issues, but how is he doing?
Well, I spoke to him on the phone about 5 days ago, and he's getting better, but it's a slow recovery. I mean, you got to understand, when you have a brain aneurysm like that and you're out for as long as he was, and then he was in a coma and 2 surgeries later, some people bounce right back if you can get him to the hospital in time. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get to the hospital quick enough to I think that's the reason why he hasn't recovered as quick as some people. Hey, he's lucky to be alive, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, without a doubt. And of course, there is no timeline. You can't rush this. You got to just let it take its course, and all you can do is just hit them, bombard them with positive energy and be supportive.
Yeah, I mean, these things, Jimmy, sometimes it takes up to 2 years for a full recovery, and we're going on in October. It'll be 1 year. I mean, some people have to learn to read and write all over again. It's just the brain is a very tricky instrument.
So this would be the perfect time to really spin this into a positive. You completed, you remastered, and now Masters of Metal is released, correct? What's the title again?
From Worlds Beyond. Yeah, it came out on Metalville in Europe August 21st. Hits here in the U.S. September 18th, which is next Friday.
Now, how is the energy on this record? Because at that time when a lot of this music was written, it was with another prior singer, which we won't mention, all that bullshit. And then going back into the studio to re-record with fresh energy from Bernie, which turned out to be magnificent. Do you feel that this album captures all the positivity of that unison with the four of you?
Absolutely. We got a chance to rework the songs, really, and Bernie got more time to work on what he wanted to do vocally wise, because we put out an EP in 2013, a 4-song EP, because I felt things were taking so long, so I wanted to release something in the meantime. And yeah, I think there's a really good diverse majority of material on this record, very diverse, from thrash to speed metal to just straight out some progressive parts. There's a lot of energy going on the album, a lot of very intelligent lyrics and a lot of shredding guitars. I mean, it's an awesome record.
Would it appease, say, the older Agent Steel demographic along with the new one?
I think it does. I mean, there's a song called Supremacy that we put out as a lead track, and that's a straight out old school, something that could have fit on Skeptic's Apocalypse, in my opinion.
Now, what's interesting for me is that the band not only evolved throughout all these different stages, but the musicianship has become superb, but yet the foundation of Masters of Metal has remained the same. Is that something that you try to preserve?
With every song, we just try to stay true to our roots and just not repeat ourselves, but at the same time stay true to our roots and just do what we do best. And that's really the only way I can answer that.
I got to be honest with you. There are very few musicians from Los Angeles that had not only go through with all the bullshit you've gone through, I'm going to be very frank, and still remain on top of their game, still be even inspired to create, and then personally go through this fucking tragic thing and still retain the unison. I commend you for that. When is this record coming out again?
It comes out next week, September 18th in the U.S. It's already out in Europe. It's called From Worlds Beyond, and I'm very proud of the album. It just took a long time to get it out there, but I'm just glad it's coming out.
What a perfect way to honor and really recognize the courage and the strength of Bernie Visage by listening to this album. But at the same time, the fact that you guys are still together, supporting them as brothers, and of course, we're all wishing the best for them. Possibly any shows coming up?
With Masters of Metal, not right now. Nothing exactly. I mean, there's been some talks about doing something in Europe next year, but again, is it going to be with Bernie singing? Is it, James Rivera from Hellstar said he would step up and fill in his absence. So, and then who's going to play his guitar parts too? So it's a whole different issue. So, nothing concrete at the moment.
This is interesting. You've been staying busy with Ice-T and Body Count. How you like that?
It's a great gig. I mean, I've been an Ice-T fan for a long time, since his rap days. Believe it or not, I used to listen to rap, NWA and Ice-T back in the day, because I support all types of music. And when the first Body Count album came out in '91, I thought it was a really punk, energetic album, and now to be a part of it, it's an honor. Yeah, we just did all of Europe. It was awesome.
Not only that, but just the fact that you're finally being recognized for what we've all known here for decades as you being an exemplary guitarist.
Oh, come on! I just do my thing. I just have fun.
Do you enjoy wearing that mask on stage?
Oh, I only wear it for the first 4 songs as an honor to D-Rock. I mean, a friend of mine from, it's funny. I was friends with that band way
really?
Back. Yeah, we used to hang out before, and you know, I just wanted to see a great record, and I think the new Body Count Manslaughter is an awesome record, and
you did a great job.
Yeah, it's fun. When we're doing Knotfest coming up in October with Judas Priest, still one of my favorite bands, so I'm pretty fucking stoked about that.
What a way to stay busy and keep your mind on check. Again, what you guys have gone through for decades, and now especially with this, I commend you. And again, tell us about the album.
It's called From Worlds Beyond. It comes out September 18th on Metalville. It's you know, online. There's hard copies in stores, so it's the new record. I think it will appease all the Agent Steel fans and even some of the Evil Dead fans. It's got a lot of thrash elements and progressive parts. So it's a tribute to Bernie, really, at this point.
It really is. For those of you that have followed this incredible band, pick up this album because, again, you got to remember when, unfortunately, this tragic incident happened, he was working on it, correct?
Yeah, he was. He was just wrapping up the mixing on like 90%. We were like one song out, and then it happened. So then, you know, good friend Bill Matory had to step in and finish off.
Did Bill step in for this?
Yeah, he did. He did. Well, he recorded a lot of the drums and on it. Actually, he recorded all the drums, and me and Bernie worked on the guitars, and so it was like a back and forth thing. But in the end, Bill ended up wrapping it up for us, so it was cool.
What a perfect individual to come in and save the day as well.
Yeah, it was awesome working with Bill Matory on this.
Is there any fund campaigns going on to provide money for Bernie? Because as we all know, the medical expenses are tremendous.
You know, there was a few on Facebook and stuff. I think that's more to help his family, his kids. He has kids, for those who don't know. I'm trying to get some people involved to help with some of his medical expenses. So he has a Facebook page, and it's all there, all the information.
All right, make sure you pick up the record and make sure you definitely send Bernie some best wishes. Again, the Masters of Metal. Juan Garcia, thank you for taking time to talk to me.
Thanks, Jimmy, and I want to thank you for all your support over the years.
Out.